Hey guys, it's me again. I think we're in week 12. I am broadcasting to you live from my bedroom. Another exciting location. Try to change it up if I can. Thanks to you guys who have been sending me videos and pictures. I'm loving them. They warm my heart. It's so hard for me to not be in the classroom with you guys. So like no hugs and no high fives and no silly conversations. So I miss that. I miss you guys even though we probably haven't met, most of us. But we will. I'm sure we will. So in this week's video, I wanted to talk to you about 5 things I want you to know about penance and going to penance, or 5 things you should keep in mind about penance, okay? Number 1, what you say is confidential. Okay, what does confidential mean? We've talked about it before, and I want to go over it again because this is an important one. The reason I started making this video is because I think that if you're like me, like I like to talk in front of the camera, I like to get up in front of groups of people, but when I go to that like one-on-one meeting with people, not just priests, but like people, I get really nervous. I actually am kind of a little bit shy when it comes to just like me and another person. And I'm guessing some of you guys feel like that. Like you're comfortable in your classroom when everybody's there and the spotlight's not on you, but as soon as it's on you, you're like, want to jump out of your skin. So maybe it's just me, but I think for those of you who are like me, this might help, and it's probably going to help all of you. So what you say is confidential, meaning the priest can't repeat it to anybody, and nobody else is going to hear it. We make sure when you go to penance that you're where nobody else can hear your conversation, and you can even like keep your voice hushed if you want to, so that's kind of up to you. But the priest can't repeat it. There's something called the seal of confession. Like if you seal an envelope, right? And that means like that nobody can open it till it gets to the person that you sent it to. So there's a seal that means the priest is sealed what you say and him. Does that make sense? It didn't come out the way I wanted it to come out. But if the priest told anyone, another priest, his friend, his family, whatever, about what you said, he couldn't be a priest anymore. He would be what's called excommunicated. So the priests always say, and I always find it kind of funny, that none of your sins are worth his soul, right? And so he's not going to repeat anything you say. So that's thing number 1. Thing number 2, we go to confession for us. And what do I mean by that? We don't go to confession for our parents. We don't go to confession for the priest. We don't even go to the confession because we're Catholic. We know that we have to go once a year, and we can go as often as we like, but you go to confession for you. You go because you can get rid of your sins. You go when you feel like you need to, right? It's something that's within your control, and it almost seems silly when you're in 2nd grade to have that kind of control, but you do at this point. That's why you're given the sacraments. So number 2, we go to confession for us, for ourselves. Okay. Thing number 3, and this is true every year that I teach First Penance, but it's especially true this year because last year too, actually, guys, because I taught in the same way. It was a little different, but I taught like this by video. So we've done it once, and I can attest, I can say that this is true, that when you go to First Penance during a pandemic, when you're not in the classroom with your teachers, there are very minimal expectations of what you're going to do and know and have memorized, right? Like where in the past, I would absolutely want you to know the order of like, hello, my name is this, bless me, Father, for I have sinned, this is my first confession. And I think most of you will probably remember that, I hope. And I'll make sure to issue the review again before you go, like when I talked about the steps. But this year especially, the expectations are low. And I hate saying that because it's like, I want you guys to do it perfect. And I know you can. You guys, you hear me say it all the time. 2nd graders are like some of the smartest people I know, right? Like you're smart, you're not jaded yet, you have great senses of humor. So some of my favorite people are like 2nd graders. But we're keeping the expectations low. And that means low pressure on you. Meaning if you walk in that room and your whole mind, like mine sometimes does, actually mine does all the time, it just goes, right? Or like nothing, just white noise. Sometimes that happens to me. I'm staring out the window and I should be working and my brain just goes, So if you walk in that room and your mind is blank, I don't want you to panic. I want you to take a breath, right? You saw my stress management video. For those of you who don't know, I'm a psychologist, so I'm big on keeping your stress as low as you can and taking care of you. So I want this to be a low stress experience. If you walk in that room and your mind goes blank, that priest is 100% going to walk you through it. They're not going to turn you away. They're not going to be mad. They're not going to be upset. They're not going to be disappointed. They're probably going to laugh because they were you once, right? Like they've been to First Penance, and when I went and when they went, it was a lot scarier. Now it's like a conversation. So that's the expectation I want you to have. Like, you're walking in there to have a conversation with God through the priest, right? The priest, they call it a conduit is the word I think they use, like a middleman or just like a helper, right? He's like God's assistant. So he knows he's not there to forgive you. He knows he's not there to do some like miraculous thing. His job is purely to act for God, right? So it's someone for you to talk to. So that's thing number 3. This first penance, no expectations, guys. You're going to prep the best you can, but if you walk in there and your mind goes blank, you're just going to go, Father, my mind went blank. And they're going to know what to do. It's not going to be the first time. It's not going to be the first time that day, right? Okay, so that's thing number 3. Thing number 4, you're not going to be alone. Your parents get to be with you. And this is one of the upsides of having penance during a pandemic. You will come to St. John Newman's and you'll come into the big room that looks like a cafeteria kind of with like cafeteria style tables, and you'll sit with your grown-ups. And I think and I hope that you'll be allowed to bring both of your grown-ups with you. Maybe you just bring one. Maybe you have to bring a grandmom or an aunt or your big sister or something. Just know that somebody can be with you while you wait, and then they can walk you right to the room and they can see you go inside and they can stand right outside the door. So you know that your person is like right there, and you don't have to wait alone. The way we used to do it is you would be up with me in front of the church away from your grown-ups. And so I would have like 20 of you to help keep calm and talk to and practice or whatever you need to do. But now it's just like one-on-one, you with your grown-up. And the other part of like, this is like, that was 4A, this is 4B. I'm going to be there. So this is a unique opportunity for me and you to see each other in person. You will recognize me. I won't look this messy. I'll brush my hair, I promise, before I come, and probably not wear a hat. I will have a mask on, right? So you're used to seeing people in masks. I'll tell you which one I'm going to wear before we go, probably, so you know who to look for, like the lady in the heart mask or something. But I will be there, and this is our first opportunity to like meet each other in person. But if you're nervous, you can come tell me. If you forget something, come tell me. If you feel like, oh my gosh, she didn't tell us about blah, come tell me, right? That's the moment. And can you introduce yourself to me? Because I'm embarrassed to say that most of you guys, I don't know what you look like. Isn't that weird? You've been watching me ramble on for like hours this year. And I don't even know what some of you look like. That's so crazy. Just kind of dawned on me there. But thing number 4, your grown-ups will be there, your support person. If you want to like bring a stuffy or like a toy or something that give a cross, a squeezy ball, something that gives you comfort, do it. Bring it. It's fine. You can leave it with your grown-up when you walk in the room. I can hold it. You can leave it on the table. You do what makes you feel comfortable. If you want to write down the whole process that we've talked about, do that. That's fine. Nobody's, like we said in number 3, no expectations, low expectations. I expect you to show up, right? I expect you to be prepared. Show up, be prepared, and do your penance, okay? All right. Thing number 5, and this is not something that plagues me because as you can tell, I can always find lots and lots of words to say. So I like to find a lot of words, but not everybody's like that, right? My husband is like not a super talker. He's very friendly and warm, but he's not a person who has a lot of words to say. And that's okay because penance is designed for all of us. If you are somebody who's on the shy or quiet side, or you just aren't a talker, you can say very few words in that penance experience, right? You can say, "Hi, Father. Bless me, Father, I've sinned," and listen, and then say your sins, and then be quiet and listen, right? The priest knows it's your first confession. The priest knows that we're living through this crazy time and it's different how we're preparing. And they know that a lot of you guys are nervous. So you can even say when you sit down, sometimes there's like a thing where, you know, they say it's the elephant in the room. Have you heard that expression before? It's like if there's something we all know, but nobody's saying out loud, we call that the elephant in the room. Right? I know that probably every one of you is going to be nervous. That's totally normal. That's what I expect because you've never done it before. You haven't met me. You maybe don't know the priest. It's something different. So we're all going to be nervous, right? Maybe I'm even nervous walking in there because I don't what's going to happen? I don't know. But you don't have to walk in there and have a lot of words to say or know exactly what to say or feel like you have to have every step right. You can be a person with just a few words to say, and that's going to be fine. Okay? So that's my 5 things I want you to know about penance. So one more time. What you say is private and can't be repeated. You go to confession for you, not for anybody else. There's low expectations, guys, right? I don't expect that you're going to do it perfect. That's okay. Number 4, your grown-up will be there, and 4B, I will be there, right? I wish I could, I'll be smiling under my mask, I assure you. And number 5, you don't have to do a lot of talking. It's okay to be shy, quiet, nervous, whatever. You want to whisper out what you want to say, they're going to be okay with that, okay? So as usual, I've rambled on for longer than 10 minutes, as is par for me. We're on chapter 12, so you have some pages to read, some videos to watch, some exercises to do. If your catechist remembers to assign them, because she has a little problem with that part of it. I always focus on this and those. I hope you guys sometimes watch those supplemental videos. Last week was it was a healing parable, I think, or a healing video, I think. I forget from week to week, but I focus on like this video talking to you, that video to show you, and sometimes I forget about like the teachery part where I have to put the assignments in. So sorry for that. Just tell your grown-up to email me if I forget. I don't mind being bugged because it's my mistake. So anyway, okay. So continue doing your examination of conscience. This week I want you to reflect on how you can go into penance and make it yours. Own it. It's yours. It's your experience. What can you do to make it work for you? Okay? So as always, know that I am praying for you, my friends. I ask that you pray for me and my family. And thankfully, we're going to get to see each other real soon. Okay, bye guys.